Carpet in my floor, so I've gotten this plastic tote that I'm going to bottle everything in so that hopefully I don't have a disaster. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Darby Jones. I live in Loveland, Colorado, and I like to vlog doing all kinds of things. I mess around with brewing beer, just doing malt extract, because I don't live in a house anymore, but I still want to brew. I used to do all grain in the garage years ago when I could spread out and had a lot of room, but it's still a lot of fun. Sometimes I just do like walking vlogs, take you for nature walks. I don't know, I kind of dabble in all kinds of things, but if you've been watching my channel, I recently, in the last 3 months or so, moved into a basement apartment, so it's even harder to do any brewing, and we'll talk about, I did find a place I can brew, here towards the end of this video. So, but if you were watching, I did have, I do gallon batches, and I did have a gallon batch of brown ale that during the move, it was ready to bottle, and I never got it bottled. So it's about 3.5 months old. I finally got it bottled, as you can see in the short video before this. So here it is. So in a couple weeks, we will open this up and see what we got after it being in the fermenter for 3.5 months. I think it should be fine. I usually bottle it after 2.5 weeks, something like that. It is a nice color. Somewhere I have a flashlight. I got this idea from Don's Beer Reviews. Or Don Reviews Beers. Don, what is it? Don Beer Reviews. Anyways, let's see if I can get this on here. There we go. So, actually the light is shining through it pretty well. But here you can kind of tell, it's kind of like that nice kind of amber. It's almost too bright, isn't it, guys? Kind of a nice amber color. But, yeah, I like doing that, Don. That was a good idea. So, anyways, we've got the brown. Now, I did, when I was bottling, I did, you know, obviously this isn't carbonated yet, but I did pull off just a little bit to taste. I always do that before I bottle it. And I put it in one of those, I like putting it in this wine glass that has those little bevels in there so that you can aerate it. When you kind of slosh it around, it helps to kind of aerate it. And then you can kind of smell it. So we'll kind of do that. That actually works really, really well. It actually gives you a little bit of foam there. So let's smell it. It smells really good. I've got to put my head, you know how like you smell something, it takes you right back to something? Yes, it smells a little bit like brown sugar, but one of my grandmas, she was well, both of my grandmas were great cooks, but one of my grandmas was more of like a southern cooker, and she would make homemade biscuits. Would put them in a cast iron skillet in the oven, and right before they came out, you know, you could start to smell that. This reminds me of Grandma's biscuits, homemade biscuits. So, so good. So let's taste it. That's what it smells like. It's always weird tasting when it's not carbonated, but I'm very pleased. Actually, sitting in the fermenter for 3.5 months didn't seem to hurt anything. Maybe it conditioned it more. You know, it's a nice color. It's nice and kind of clear color. But actually, And actually, after you kind of sit there for a minute too, it has that kind of a little bit of brown sugar and kind of that dough biscuit kind of flavor. So the smell matches that. And I was talking to one of my friends. I like that in a beer when you can smell a beer and taste a beer, and the beer tastes like you're expecting it on how it smells. I don't like when the two of those don't match. I don't know if that's right or not, but I like it when those two complement each other. So I have to show you though, when I went to wash here's my 1 gallon fermenter. Can you guys see this? There is a crack. See if I can get it in the light. Crack that goes all the way up and way around the bottom like this. I noticed when I went to wash it that there was a little bit of a drip, like a brown drip. It looked like beer that had dripped down. I'm like, well, that's weird. How could that drip down there and be like crusted on there? So I'm like, whatever. So I went to, wash it with hot water as you do, and it instantly just cracked. So, sometimes that happens, but I also wonder if during the move with these glass carboys, you have to be real careful. If it got sat down like on the concrete, to pick up something else to move out of the car and then carry this in, and if it had like a little tiny crack in it or something. So I don't know. So I was bummed. I have 2 of these. They're not all that expensive, but I'm going to have to recycle this one, throw it in the recycle bin, and get another one ordered. But that's all right. That's okay. So check out. So I went to my friend's house. It's hard for us to get together, so we didn't get together for Christmas. And we do exchange Christmas gifts. And by the way, she's getting into brewing with just a really simple brew kit. But anyways, I went over there yesterday to help her check it out. Take everything out and let her know, because she'll be a first-time brewer of any kind. But to see if she needed equipment and whatever. But so we exchanged our Christmas gifts. But check out this t-shirt here, see if we can see it. Hopefully the writing's not backwards on there. So may contain alcohol. It just cracks me up. So that was one of the gifts she gave me. And then we are both x-ray techs by trade. And I'm a teacher, and I'm a professor at a community college, and I teach x-ray classes. I teach the technical ones, like equipment classes and radiation biology and protection. But anyways, by trade. So we like skulls just because of our trade of x-raying people. So she gave me these, there's 2 tumblers, but I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the skull in the bottom? So anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought I would just share that. But the main reason I'm telling you about all of this is her husband, he's from Kansas City, and they went to visit his folks over Christmas, and there's a beer company there called KC Beer Company that's really good. She discovered while she was back there. So she brought me back, I think, 6 beers. While I was there, she and I really like German Hefeweizens. It's kind of that banana clovey taste. It's real hazy. And we're always looking for a good one of those. So she brought me one of those back. I had that last night. It was super good. It was like the best one we've had forever, and we're always searching for those. And then she also brought me, I tried a Dunkel last night that was really, really good. So I thought I would open up one today and try it really quick with you guys. This is a Bavarian style wheat. So we're going to pop that open, and then I've got a couple more. I can't remember the other ones that I have. So I may end up doing another beer review, who knows. And I always joke, but it's true. I'm not good at articulating what beer tastes like. I love to brew, but I feel like I'm not very good at that. So let's go ahead and give this a pour here. So again, this is a Bavarian wheat ale, so I'm expecting it to be hazy. I would expect it to be citrusy. Let's see, not a huge head on that, but I would expect it to be hazy, and it looks like it is. I like that. Dawn, if you're watching, I'm going to put the flashlight back up again. I think my flashlight's too bright, though, Dawn. Woo, mine is way too bright. Check that out. Look at that color, though. That's kind of pretty when you do that. And also, you know, as light as they usually are kind of a full-bodied kind of beer, which I like. I used to brew a German wheat years and years ago. So let's see. Let's smell it here. It is citrusy, but not... There we go. Maybe like grapefruit or lemon. So we'll see. Like I said, I feel like I'm not very good at this. All right, let's give it a taste. Mmm. What is that? Maybe grapefruit and lemon, but I'm not quite getting which fruit that is. Hang on. And you know what? It tastes like a light Hefeweizen that I like. Now, I did have one of their Hefeweizens, and it was really, like I said, super good and creamy and all that. But this has, which German wheats, I mean, a Hefeweizen is a German wheat. They're both wheat beers, but sometimes just slightly, different yeast strains. But that's kind of, it's almost like banana, like a Hefeweizen. Maybe banana with a little bit of like a grapefruit or lemon. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it is hazy like I would expect it to be, and it's very, very full-bodied. So that's definitely a good one. Really, really like that. So maybe I'll do a review. I made a list here to make sure I didn't forget everything that I want to talk about. So to kind of catch you up on, so I was saying I can't really brew anymore because I'm in a basement apartment. I just have like one of those hot plates that you plug in to cook on, which works great for cooking, but I don't think I could control even with a 1 gallon batch. It would be too hard to control the temperature and all that. But my good friend that I was telling you that gave me this shirt and the gifts and everything, and she's going to start brewing. So she lives in a big house, and so she's like, well, just come to my house and brew. So I'm going to be able to keep brewing. And the other thing is, I lost my train of thought there. My other thing is mead. I used to make 5-gallon kegs, batches of mead, honey wine. And I was watching, Stoneyard Vineyard, if you're watching this, you recently did one on chocolate mead. And that it reminded me of, like, I need to keep making mead. And I have actually tasted some of my mead on here before, but it's been a long time. So I think I'll get another glass fermenter, the one that cracked. That way I can use one for beer. That I can now brew at my girlfriend's house, and then I can use one for mead. And I really like traditional mead, just honey wine and yeast. But I also like melomels, where you can introduce some fruit or fruit juices into that. So I can do that here because you don't boil that, right? So you can make mead anywhere. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm excited that I can brew again. Now, the kit that her son bought her, the brewing kit that her son bought her for Christmas, it's kind of cool. It's different. It's a 2-gallon thing, but it looks like an old like whiskey barrel, but it's plastic and it's 2 gallons. And it's like really, really simplified. Like it's through Mr. Beer, I think, but they have like other kits that you can kind of upgrade to later after you brew for the first time. So she doesn't really need any equipment with it whatsoever. But I didn't know it was that kind of a system, so I gave her the link to where I buy my recipe kits for the malt extract, and so she bought those. Well, those are for 1-gallon batches. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, because, it's going to be kind of different for her. So I think what I'm going to do is buy those from her that she bought from my supplier that I go through, so that she can then buy, because this is a very specific beginner's kit, with their stuff. So, but yeah, then I can go over and start brewing, and I can video some of that. And, yeah, so some good things to come. I think I've made it through my list here, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Bye, guys. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Just kidding. I'm back. What would one of my videos be without me popping back on because I forgot about something? So really super quick. I need you guys' help. So I have never been an IPA fan, okay? And I'm trying to get better about learning about tasting beer and articulating beer. I've said that, or articulating what beers taste like. So I've said that like a lot on my channel. So I want to buy like 4 or 5 different cans of different IPAs. And just because they're not, in general, I'm always like, ooh, IPAs, I'm not even going to try it. But I kind of want to learn about them. And, somewhere, I may have lost it in the move. I've got one of those wood paddles with the flights, the little glasses that you can test those. If not, I'll just have to use shot glasses or something like that. But I'd like to do like 5 of them. and video that and taste them. I'll do some research on what do you look for in IPA, even though I don't like them. And let's see if I can't find an IPA that I actually is palatable to me. Okay? So if you guys have an IPA, I live here in the US, so it has to be something I could buy here. But if you have IPAs that I could buy here that you like, if you could list them, if you could put them in the comments and list the brand, and I will try to find them. And let's see if we can't find one that I enjoy. There was one time that I was in Kansas City, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was this company that my friend, gave me these beers through. There was an IPA. It was called like a Firehouse IPA or something like that. But it was actually really, really good. So I don't know. I think it'd be fun. It'd be educational for me and really try the different types because I don't really ever focus on IPAs. So anyways, I promise I'm out this time. But if you have a favorite IPA, please list it in the comments and I will do a video on it. Thanks. All right, I'm out. Bye, guys.